Welcome back, you guys. We're talking with JoAn Henricks today, and the Old St. Peter's Landmark is our topic of discussion. And it's been a very enjoyable conversation, JoAn, and I want to talk a bit before we talk about the modern day stuff.
Okay.
I want to back up a little bit because you got a couple of good stories that I think you should share. One of them being that there was like a local boy who was he'd catch pigeons, and then.
Well, you have to remember that my memories of the old landmark come from the 50s and the 60s. And I talked to a gentleman who actually was an altar boy for 7 years during that time. And I said, okay, what are your memories? And he said, well, I used to crawl up through the trapdoors up into the belfry tower, and I would catch the pigeons, and Monsignor, that was the head priest, would pay me 25 cents for each pigeon that I caught up there because, they cause a little mess. And so I just would crawl right up there, and I mean, this was, 179 feet up inside.
Yeah.
And I caught the pigeons, and then I took the pigeons out 15 miles, and I sold them to wheat farmers out there who were using them for hunting purposes. I said, oh, okay.
Well, little entrepreneur.
A little entrepreneur. There are many names written up inside that belfry. We have some pictures, some photographs of some of the names, and it's amazing. The high school students at the time who'd crawled up there and wrote their names inside.
I understand as a young person yourself, you actually, somehow you had a key.
Right.
And you would sneak in there and
I grew up on a cherry orchard up on Nob Hill Road here, and in the summertime, one summer my music teacher gave me a key to the organ. And no one was supposed to touch the organ, let alone a 16-year-old in the middle of the summer. But I would drive.
And you weren't playing hymns on that organ,
and I wasn't playing hymns. I would drive myself to town. I would go up there, and I would play South Pacific and Blue Hawaii on that organ. And that is a definite no-no. You do not play secular music on a church organ. And I saw the nun who loaned me the key about 7 years ago, and I said, Sister, Monsignor would have killed me if he had known what I was doing. And she said, JoAn, he would have killed me if he knew who gave you the key. So, I think she's right.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. So it actually, something we should make sure and clarify for folks is the fact that it is not a church any longer.
Correct.
And it is a landmark. It has no denominational affiliation.
It is not related with any religious group or denomination. It's strictly a landmark. If you'd like to think of it as a museum, I think that might help people understand what it is.
I think that would be a great way to put it.
And it's open to the public. It is free. I mentioned the hours earlier. We're here to share the landmark with the people of the Dalles and the area.
Yeah.
And come long or visit long and often.
Long and often. Very good. And so, like about 4 years ago, you got involved with the nonprofit.
Yes.
And what drove you to want to be involved?
Well, I really love the building. I have a lot of memories. Some are bittersweet, but I have a lot of memories of the building. And my family has been in the area since forever, as are a lot of the families here. Mm-hmm. When I retired and came home to the Dalles, the first thing I wanted to do was to go up on the altar, because as a young woman in the Catholic Church, girls couldn't go past the altar railings.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So the first thing I did coming back to the Dalles was race to the old landmark and go right up on the altar and check out the altar itself, because there's a little spot there where they put a relic from saints, and I'd always heard about that.
When the church never see it for yourself.
Right. When the church was desanctified in 1971, then obviously the relics were taken out.
Okay.
But that's where I started when I came back, and to me it's just a wonderful place. It has good feelings and it's beautiful, and we do have a jewel here in town.
Yeah, for
in the
sure.
area.
All right. Well, we're out of time already. Can you believe
goodness.
it? Can you believe it? So people just need to come down there and experience it for themselves. And
come again and again and
stay long.
Enjoy it. Stay long.
Yeah. Well, JoAn, thank you so much.
Thank you very
really
much.
Appreciate it. Love learning more about the place we see right here when we come to work every day.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, you guys, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time right here on Localite. John Compton here saying thanks again for watching. And remember, if you've got a guest idea, let us know. Just visit localite.com.